Well, I bring a message today, and as always, I don't have any answers. I have mostly questions. But the subject that I would like to revive for us is the subject of linear thinking combined with cyclic thinking. As we know, there are so many vibrational references to vibrations in this known universe, not the least of which is the 24-hour day plus a little more time. Also, a tuning fork vibrating back and forth. That is a cycle. We also have, some of us might be using a meditative pendulum. The cycle of the pendulum is faster than the daily cycles we know, but nevertheless, it is a back and forth motion. And so it is with our minds. We might be considering ideas in the way of linear thinking, and it might also be in cyclic. Now, what are these? The linear thinking is associated with progress, forward movement, the conquest of nature, the promised land motif in the westward expansion. Also, heavenly aspiration, there's our word, without earthly reconciliation. The creation as commodity, that's associated with linear thinking. Training and programming are linear. Progression is linear. Quantity, newness, these are associated with linear thinking. Now we also have cyclic thinking. And all of us are indulging in both of these. Cyclic thinking is associated with atonement with creation. The sacred hoop of black elk, a very famous Native American, and the community of creation working with each other. Cyclic thinking is also reconciliation of heaven and earth and aspiration inward, responsible living. The creation as source and end, education, cultural process, usufruct, I had to learn that word, and relinquishment. Usufruct, the sharing of resources. There's renewal. That's associated with cyclic thinking. The recurring of life, death, and transition, all of those are cyclic. And we all have to live in both ways. If I write a check, the recipient of a check is going to be thinking linearly. They want, I want, and to want is associated with linear thinking. But the cyclic thinking comes in when we have to say, okay, don't worry about it. I'll just give you 2 weeks and I'll redeposit your check. Don't worry about it. There we have cyclic thinking, and we need both. We need both. So linear thinking is associated with rules, and cyclic thinking is associated with structure, the structure of things with lots of possibilities interwoven. So in talking about these ideas, we have the most obvious, if we're occasional Bible readers, we have the Beatitudes in Matthew chapter 5, a beautiful set of ideas. Allow me to quote, this is from the NRSV. When Jesus saw the crowds, he went up the mountain, and after he sat down, his disciples came to him. Then he began to speak and taught them, saying, Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they will receive mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when people revile you and persecute you and utter all kinds of evil against you falsely on my account. Rejoice and be glad, for your reward is great in heaven. So we have a constant reference to the contrasts in our lives. And these contrasts are all over the place. And one of the major goals in a lot of spiritual paths is to reconcile those conflicts, those contrasts. And one useful tool is to use the word and instead of the word but, B-U-T. So for example, I have some things I want to do today. I have to work in the yard, but I want to make music. Well, how about if I substitute, instead of saying but, I could say and. I want to fix up the yard and I want to make music. Now I have a choice. Now that's a balance. And that could be associated with cyclic thinking and not necessarily having a confrontation with conflicting ideas. This takes a lot of practice. Do I do it all the time? No. No. But by having that as a tool, I can relax a little bit more into the things that are really important about my own life. And so the Beatitudes were the expressions by Jesus of some of these conflicts and contrasts. And how we regard these is completely up to us, as always, as always. And these days, with all these conflicts around us, I find myself clinging to every word. I was so happy to see all of you present at the group today because I was clinging to these words. And aspire, this word is also the root of the name of the vertical structure on a church, aspire, respiration, aspiration, inspiration, all associated with a movement, especially with respiration, the breath. We take the breath in, we allow the breath to go out. And there is movement of the diaphragm. And this up and down movement could be associated with the cycles, and therefore cyclic thinking. I have an offering also to make to you in a moment. I have a song that I would like to sing for you, and with apologies to the composer Pete Seeger. But the song is Turn, 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 and I have it. I'm going to put it up on the screen if I can. This is from the reprints of Sing Out magazine. Does anybody here remember Sing Out magazine? Okay, it's all right if you do not. I have all of the booklets of the magazine, or the reprints, the song reprints. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to see if I can share a screen so that you may have a chance to hum along, you good people, you gloriously voiced people. Now let's see. What am I going to do here? We're not going to share the screen. Let us have instead. You with me, folks? Okay. I'm going to have a song. I'm going to revive my 12-string guitar. You with me? Here we go. This is one of my treasured instruments. 12 strings, 12 chances to be in tune. So let's see here. Flashing the screen. Okay. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time for every purpose under heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to read, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to laugh, a time to weep. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time for every purpose under heaven. I'll close with just that one verse. And if you contact me, I'll be happy to send you a PDF of that song. It's worthwhile because these thoughts are timeless, timeless. The verse in Ecclesiastes chapter 3 is very similar. And the only thing that Pete Seeger added was a time for peace. I swear it's not too late. That is an enormously important idea. It's not too late. Because if we apply our cyclic thinking, most situations in life can be made more flexible with our cyclic thinking. That's what I love so much about the opening description of unity. This movement has built-in flexibility. And no matter what our images are of the creator or of a creator, we can be accommodated within these teachings. There's space for everyone. There's space for believers in the life of Jesus, and there's space for people who are waiting for a return. There's plenty of space. So you can swear it's not too late, but make it not too late by the way we live. So the idea of linear thinking and cyclic thinking, they're present all over the place. And by meditating, we can attune ourselves with the timelessness of these ideas. I would like to give us a guided meditation at this time. And this will be 5 minutes or less. And I want to invite you to watch your breath. And if you wish to do this physically, I suggest that you rest your feet flat on the floor and that your spine is straight. And this makes it easier to breathe. We straighten the neck so that the head feels balanced on top. And the breathing becomes very easy and very smooth. The in is the taking in of the air with the vital life force. And then in a perfect rhythm, the breath falls out again, and we repeat. So let us feel that the breath is helping to harmonize the whole body, the psyche. You're going to hear the alto flute very quietly. I'll call you back soon. Let us keep this modality of quietude within and use this inner peace now to visualize for yourself a positive change that you wish to make, either within yourself or within your family or your cycle and circle of friends. I'll be quiet while you construct this image of change. We are relaxed, we are thinking positively, we are using the power of the mind. I'll call you back in about another minute. And now, gently, we become aware of the surroundings. We make this a slow and gentle transition into alertness. So, as you open your eyes, you can cast your gaze downward so that you don't have a huge influx of information. And when we come out of meditation, we always give this a little time to readjust so that we preserve the inner peacefulness. And this is the most important idea with our meditations. So the guided meditation now was for the purpose of reviving an idea about positive change. And anytime you have a few minutes, you can become relaxed in this way in order to visualize those outcomes that you most treasure, that you most wish to see in the world. So we are moving a little bit, we're flexing the neck or shoulders, trusting in the divine to assist with the production of what we wish to have in the world, being receptive to change. So at this time, Brother Neil, perhaps you would like to revise the change in the screen, in the format. Would this be a good time?
How would you like me to revise it?
Well, now, did you mention that at about the end of the message you would be stopping the recording?
Would you like me to stop at this point? Is your message complete?
Pretty much, except for the sharing that you might want to record.
Okay, all right. No, well, we're not going to record sharing. That's kind of like a new, I guess, kind of an agreement with the group. So thank you for your message, and I'll stop the recording.